Welcome, traveler. You found the slumbering cosmos. Tonight, we're going to visit the strangest worlds ever discovered. Real planets orbiting other stars far out in the galaxy. Worlds so strange that when astronomers first found them, they could hardly believe what the numbers were telling them. Worlds where it rains molten glass. Worlds made partly of diamond. Worlds with no star at all, drifting alone through the dark. Worlds where one side burns in endless day while the other freezes in endless night. And here is my promise to you, and I will keep it all night long. Not one of these strange worlds is frightening. Every single one of them is impossibly far away, so far that their light takes years or centuries to reach us. They cannot touch you. They cannot reach you. They are simply out there, turning quietly in the dark, being strange and beautiful, whether or not anyone is watching. Tonight we get to visit them gently from the perfect safety of your own bed, the way you might visit far countries in a dream. For most of human history, we knew of only the handful of worlds in our own solar system. We did not know if there were others. And then, only about 30 years ago, we found the first planet orbiting another sun, and then another and another. And now we know of thousands upon thousands of them, a whole galaxy full of worlds, stranger and more varied than anyone ever imagined. Tonight, we visit the strangest of them all. So settle in. Set the day down, all of it, the finished and the unfinished. None of it needs you tonight. It will keep patiently until morning, and you will meet it then rested. For now, there's only this gentle tour of far-off worlds, and there is nothing you need to do but drift and listen and let go. Let the bed take your whole weight, all of it, so that you're holding nothing up, carrying nothing, bracing against nothing. Feel your shoulders slide down, away from your ears. Feel your hands fall open, the fingers softening. Let your jaw come loose, your brow grow smooth. And let a slow warmth begin at the crown of your head and move down through you, through your face and your chest and your arms, down through your legs to your feet, carrying the whole day out of you as it goes down and away into the dark, where it can no longer reach you. And let your breathing slow, all on its own. Don't force it. Just notice it, the soft rise, the slower fall. And let each breath out grow a little longer than the one before. Take one slow breath in and let it go all the way out. Let's leave and go and see the strange worlds. Before we visit them, let me tell you softly how we even find these distant worlds, because the method itself is one of the gentlest and most patient things in all of science. The planets around other stars are impossibly far away and impossibly faint. They make no light of their own. They only reflect the tiny glow of their star, and they are lost utterly in its glare, like trying to see a single moth fluttering in front of a distant lighthouse. For a long time, it seemed we might never see them at all, but astronomers found a way, and it is beautifully simple. They watch the star, just the star, and they wait. Because if a planet happens to pass, from our point of view, directly in front of its star, it blocks a tiny sliver of the starlight. The star dims just slightly, just for a few hours, and then brightens again as the planet moves on. a dip so small that it is like noticing a firefly cross in front of stadium floodlight 1,000 miles away. And by watching that tiny, faithful dimming, repeating over and over, once each orbit, astronomers can weigh the planet and measure its size, and even from the starlight that filters through its atmosphere, learn what its air is made of. It requires enormous patience. A telescope stares at a single star, unblinking, for months, for years, waiting for the faint, regular flicker that betrays a hidden world. There is something wonderfully calm about it, this quiet, patient watching, this waiting in the dark for the smallest of signs. We found a galaxy full of worlds not by rushing out to them, but by sitting still and watching and waiting very patiently for the light to tell us its secrets. And there is a second way, too, gentler still, that works on the same quiet principle. A planet, as it orbits, does not simply circle a fixed star. It tugs on the star, ever so slightly, with its own small gravity, so that the star itself wobbles, just a little, drawn in a tiny circle by the pull of its unseen companion. And that wobble stretches and squeezes the star's light in a way we can measure, faint as a whisper. So even when a planet never crosses in front of its star, we can feel its presence in the gentle swaying of the star it holds. We find whole worlds not by seeing them, but by noticing how tenderly they pull on the things around them. I find something moving in that the first thing we ever learned about most of these distant worlds is not their color or their surface or their sky, but simply the gentle tug they exert on their star, the small faithful pull of one body on another across the dark. We found them by their gravity, which is to say by the quiet way they hold on to what they love and are held in return. That is how we know the strange worlds are there. We watched the starlight flicker, and we felt the stars sway, and we listened to what it all said. Now let us go and visit them, one gentle world at a time. The first strange world we visit is a planet that may be made, in part, of diamond and other precious things. Its name is 55 Cancri E, and it orbits a star bright enough that, on a clear night, you could very nearly see it with your own eyes, about 40 light years away. It is what astronomers call a super-Earth, a rocky world, but much larger than our own, about twice the width of the Earth and many times its mass. And it lives impossibly close to its star. So close that its entire year, one full orbit around its sun, lasts less than 18 hours. It races around its star in less than a single Earth day, held in a tight, blazing embrace, its surface roasted to thousands of degrees, hot enough that rock itself would melt and flow like water. When scientists first studied it, they calculated that a world with its particular mass and size, formed from carbon-rich material, might have its interior transformed by the immense heat and pressure into vast quantities of crystallized carbon, into diamond. For a while, it was called, romantically, the Diamond Planet, a world whose depths might hold more diamond than the Earth holds rock. Later studies complicated that picture, as good science always does. The truth is probably stranger and less tidy than pure diamond. But the possibility remains that somewhere out there, 40 light years away, there is a world with a heart of crystallized carbon, glittering in the dark beneath a surface of molten stone. Imagine it, softly from your safe and enormous distance. A world of glowing, flowing rock, racing around its star, its whole year passing in less than a night's sleep. And buried far below, in the crushing dark, a fortune in crystal that no one will ever hold. The universe makes such things and hides them, and asks nothing of anyone. And think for a moment of how it would look if you could hang safely above it in the dark. A world with no night and no day as we know them. For it turns the same face to its star forever, one hemisphere in perpetual, blinding fire, glowing a dull, sullen red like a coal pulled from a furnace, its surface a vast ocean of molten rock, churning and glowing and never cooling. Great lakes of lava, wider than countries, rising and falling with the tides of the star's own pull. Rivers of liquid stone, a whole world's surface, molten and glowing, racing around its sun in less time than you will sleep tonight. It is one of the most extreme places we have ever found, and yet from your safe and enormous distance, it is only a small red glowing bead turning quietly in the black, keeping all its fire entirely to itself. It has been racing around its star, glowing and molten, for billions of years, and it will race there for billions more, and its heat will never warm your room by a single degree. Let the diamond world race quietly around its star, 40 light years away, harming no one. We drift on to a world where the weather is stranger still. The next strange world is one where it rains glass. Sideways. Its name is HD 189733b and is a giant planet, a great gas world like our own Jupiter, about 63 light years from Earth. From a distance, through a telescope, it is one of the loveliest things in the sky. A deep, rich cobalt blue, the color of a perfect twilight, the color of the Earth's own ocean seen from space. If you saw it hanging in the black, you might think you had found another ocean world, another gentle blue home. But its blue does not come from water. It comes from glass. This is a hot giant, orbiting so close to its star that its atmosphere is heated to over 1,000 degrees. And high in that atmosphere, there is thought to be a haze of tiny particles of silicate, of glass. The blue color is sunlight scattering off those glass particles, the same way our own sky is blue. And the winds on this world are almost beyond imagining, screaming around the planet at thousands of kilometers per hour, 7 times the speed of sound, the fiercest winds ever measured on any world. And so, if those glass particles ever condense and fall as rain, they do not fall gently downward. They are driven sideways, horizontally, by those monstrous winds, a stinging, sideways storm of molten glass, blowing eternally around a deep blue world, under a sky lit by a star that never sets. It sounds violent, and up close it surely is. But hold it the way we hold all these worlds tonight, from a distance of 63 light years, from the safety of your warm bed, where no wind can reach you and no glass can fall. From here, it is simply a beautiful blue planet, glowing softly in the dark, keeping its wild weather entirely to itself. Its storms have raged for billions of years, and will rage for billions more, and not a single breath of that wind will ever so much as stir the air in your room. And there is something worth pausing on in the strange beauty of this world, the way it fools the eye. If you came upon it not knowing, you would see that deep, familiar ocean blue, and your heart might lift the way it lifts at the sight of the sea or of our own blue earth from space. You would think, here is a gentle world, a water world, a place of calm. And you would be entirely wrong. The blue that looks so much like home is the light of 1,000 storms of glass. The color of peace wrapped around the fiercest weather in the known galaxy. The universe is full of such gentle deceptions, beauty that hides violence, and, just as often, calm that hides beneath apparent chaos. It is a good thing to remember, drifting towards sleep, that you cannot always tell from a distance what a thing truly holds. The blue world keeps its glass storms to itself and shows the dark only its lovely, tranquil color. From 63 light years away is simply, purely beautiful, and that beauty at least is real and reaches you, and the storms never will. Let the blue glass world spin on, far away, wrapped in its beautiful violent weather. We drift onward to the loneliest worlds of all. Not every planet has a star. This is one of the strangest and most haunting discoveries of all. I want to tell it to you gently, because although it sounds lonely, there is a deep peace in it too. Drifting through the dark spaces between the stars, belonging to no sun at all, there are worlds. Rogue planets, they are called. Free-floating planets. Whole worlds, some small and rocky, some great gas giants larger than Jupiter, wandering alone through the galaxy, untethered, unlit, unwarmed by any star. Some of them were born this way, gathered directly out of collapsing clouds like tiny failed stars. But many were once part of a family, planets that formed around a star like ours did, and were then flung out long ago by the gravity of a passing world or a stellar near-miss, cast loose from their sun and sent drifting off into the endless dark, never to return. And there may be billions of them, perhaps more rogue planets, wandering starless through the galaxy than there are stars. A whole hidden population of dark, silent worlds drifting between the lights. It sounds like the loneliest fate imaginable, a world adrift forever in the cold and the dark, its sky empty of any sun, only the distant scattered stars, unreachably far. But consider it a moment longer the way the universe would have you consider it. These worlds are not suffering. They do not know they are alone. They simply drift in perfect silence through the deepest and most peaceful dark there is at their own unhurried pace, needing nothing, disturbed by nothing for billions upon billions of years. And some of them may even carry oceans, liquid water, kept warm not by a star, but by the slow heat of their own interior, hidden beneath a shell of ice. Dark seas that have never seen a sunrise and never will, and are perfectly calm all the same. Picture one of them drifting there in the dark. A great world, perhaps as large as Jupiter, moving in perfect silence through the space between the stars, where the nearest sun is so far away that it is only one more point of light among thousands, giving no more warmth than any other star in the sky. Its surface or its cloud tops, lit only by starlight, a soft, dim, silver glow, the whole world wrapped in a permanent, gentle starlight dusk, neither day nor night, only the faint, even glow of the whole galaxy at once. No sunrise will ever come, no sunset, only the slow, silent drift and the unchanging stars and the deep, patient dark. And it moves so slowly and so smoothly that from aboard it, if there were anywhere to stand, you would feel no motion at all. It would seem perfectly still, this wandering world, though it crosses unimaginable distances across the ages. Stillness and motion become the same thing. Loneliness and peace become the same thing. There is no one out there to be lonely on the rogue worlds. There's only the quiet and the drifting and the dark going on gently forever. There's a kind of peace available even to a world with no star. Even adrift in the deepest dark, a world can carry its own warmth within it and be still and be whole. Let the rogue worlds drift on through the quiet between the stars. We follow, gently, to a world caught forever between fire and ice. Many of the strange worlds we find are tidally locked, and this creates one of the most beautiful and peculiar landscapes in all the universe. To be tidally locked means that a planet always shows the same face to its star, the way our own moon always shows the same face to the Earth. The planet still orbits its star, but it does not spin freely as it goes. One side faces the star forever, and the other side faces away forever. And so, on such a world, there is no sunrise and no sunset and no day and night at all. There is only one side of endless, unmoving day, where the star hangs frozen in the sky, in the exact same spot, always, never rising, never setting, and one side of endless, unmoving night, where that star has never once been seen, and the darkness is eternal. The day side of such a world bakes under its unmoving sun, scorched and dry. The night side freezes in perpetual dark, cold beyond cold. Two utterly different worlds, welded together into one. But between them, and this is the beautiful part, there's a ring, a band that circles the entire planet, all the way around, where the star sits forever on the horizon, in an eternal, unmoving twilight. Neither the burning day nor the freezing night, but a permanent, gentle dusk circling the whole world, a ring of perpetual sunset, where the light is always golden and low and soft and never changes and never fades. Some scientists think that if life could exist on such a world, it might live there in that ring of endless twilight, in the one place that is neither too hot nor too cold, under a sun that never moves and a sky that is always the color of evening. Imagine standing in that ring of eternal dusk, the golden light stretching your shadow long across the ground, the star resting motionless on the horizon, never sinking, never rising, holding the whole sky in a permanent, gentle gloaming. It would be the calmest evening imaginable, and it would never end. An eternal, unchanging twilight, circling a distant world forever. There would be no clocks on such a world, and no need for them. No morning to wake to, no evening to wind down toward. Only the one endless golden hour held forever. The light would never change, and so nothing would ever feel late or early or rushed. Time itself would seem to soften and slow and finally stand still in that band of unmoving dusk. It is the closest thing the universe offers to a single perfect moment stretched out to fill all of time. The low golden light of a summer evening, the kind that makes you want to stop and sit and simply be held forever, going nowhere, needing nothing. Let that soft, endless dusk settle over you now as we drift on toward the giants that hug their stars. Some of the first strange worlds we ever found were the hot Jupiters, and they overturned everything we thought we knew about how planets are arranged. In our own solar system, the giant planets live far from the sun, out in the cold where it is calm and dim. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, all of them keep a stately, respectful distance, taking years or decades to make a single slow orbit. We assumed, naturally, that this was simply how solar systems worked. Small rocky worlds close to the star, great gas giants far away in the cold. And then we found the hot Jupiters, giant planets, as large as Jupiter or larger, orbiting their stars not out in the distant cold, but impossibly closer than Mercury orbits our sun. Great gas worlds whipping around their stars in just a few days, roasted to thousands of degrees, their atmospheres puffed up and streaming away in glowing tails, some of them so hot that on their day sides, the very iron in their skies vaporizes, rises, is carried to the cold night's side by ferocious winds, and there condenses and falls as rain made of liquid iron. They should not, by our old rules, exist so close to their stars. And their discovery taught us a deep and humbling lesson, that our own solar system, calm and orderly and familiar, is only one arrangement among countless others, and perhaps not even a common one. The galaxy is full of solar systems built on entirely different plans. Giants where we expected none, worlds packed close where we expected emptiness. Every star, it seems, with its own strange and unrepeatable family of planets. There is something freeing in that, I think. There is no one right way for a solar system to be. There is no template that worlds must follow. Each star simply gathers whatever worlds it gathers in whatever arrangement chance provides, and every single one is different and none is wrong. The universe does not insist on order. It simply makes and makes and makes endlessly various, and lets each system be exactly, strangely itself. Let the hot giants stream around their stars, far away. We drift on to a family of 7 worlds circling a single small red sun. Around a small, dim, red star called TRAPPIST, one some 40 light years away, there is one of the most remarkable families of worlds we have ever found. 7 planets, 7 rocky worlds, roughly the size of the Earth, all circling a single red dwarf star, all packed close together in tight, quick orbits. The whole system is so compact that all 7 planets orbit closer to their star than Mercury orbits our sun. The entire family could fit comfortably inside the orbit of our innermost world. They are near neighbors to one another, these 7 worlds, circling their small red sun in a tight, patient dance. And because they're so close together, the view from any one of them would be extraordinary. From the surface of one of these worlds, the neighboring planets would not be faint points of light, as our planets are in Earth's sky. They would loom large, visible as actual disks, other worlds hanging in the sky, larger than our moon appears to us, close enough to see their features, their clouds, their colors. Imagine a night sky with other Earths in it, great and near and luminous, wheeling slowly overhead. 7 sister worlds, keeping each other company around a quiet red star. And several of these worlds orbit in the star's habitable zone, the gentle band, neither too hot nor too cold, where liquid water could exist. We do not know if any of them holds oceans or air or anything at all stirring in warm, shallow seas. Perhaps they are barren. Perhaps they are not. That is one of the great open questions, waiting patiently out there 40 light years away for some future traveler, some future telescope to answer. And there is a further gentleness to this system, hidden in its clockwork. The 7 worlds are bound together in what astronomers call resonance. Their orbits are linked in simple, whole number rhythms, so that for every so many circuits one planet makes, its neighbor makes exactly so many more, over and over, in perfect repeating time. They pull on one another gently as they go, and keep one another in step in a slow gravitational music that has been playing unbroken for billions of years. If you could somehow hear the rhythm of their orbits, it would be a steady, patient beat, tick and tick and tick. 7 worlds keeping time together around their small red star, a cosmic lullaby with no beginning and no end. Let that steady rhythm settle over you, like a slow and distant heartbeat. 7 sister worlds circling in time, keeping one another company, keeping one another's rhythm, in the quiet, dark 40 light years away. But you do not need any answer tonight. Tonight, it is enough simply to picture them. 7 Earth-sized worlds, circling a small red sun, each with the others hanging great and bright in its sky, keeping one another gentle company in the dark. Let that quiet family of worlds turn softly, far away. We drift on to the lightest worlds of all. Some of the strangest planets we have found are the puffy planets, worlds so light, so airy, that they seem almost impossible. We're used to thinking of planets as solid, heavy things. But out in the galaxy, there are giant planets, some as large as Jupiter, that weigh almost nothing for their size. Their density is so low that if you could find an ocean vast enough, they would float in it, like Saturn would, but even more so. Some of them are so puffy, so tenuous, that scientists have compared their density to that of cotton candy or styrofoam or even the air we breathe. Great, vast, swollen worlds, larger than Jupiter, but so light and so diffuse that they are barely more substantial than a cloud. They are puffed up this way by the heat of their nearby stars, which warms their atmospheres and makes them swell enormously, like a balloon expanding in the sun, a giant, gossamer world ballooning outward wispy and vast and almost weightless. And there's something dreamlike about them, these cotton candy worlds. Planets you could almost imagine drifting through like fog. Worlds with no hard surface anywhere, only a slow thickening of gas, gentler and gentler haze going down and down. They trouble our sense of what a world even is, for surely a planet should be solid and heavy and real. And yet here they are, thousands of them turning in the galaxy, great swollen wisps of warm gas, barely holding themselves together, floating around their stars like the ghosts of planets. And imagine drifting toward one of them, a world larger than Jupiter, filling half the sky, and yet so faint, so soft-edged, that you could not quite say where it began. No hard horizon, no solid line between the world and the space around it. Only a gradual thickening of a warm, colored haze, gentler and gentler, deeper and deeper, a world that is almost entirely atmosphere, almost entirely softness, a great glowing cloud that happens to be a planet. You could sink into it forever and never strike a surface. Only warmer air and thicker haze and a slow, dreamlike descent through a world with no floor. There is something wonderfully restful in that image. A world with no hard edges anywhere, nothing to bump against, nothing solid to resist you. Only softness deepening into softness all the way down. Let yourself feel that soft, edgeless quality now, as though you too were sinking slowly and safely into something warm and boundless and gentle. The universe, it turns out, does not care much for our expectations. It makes worlds of diamond and worlds of glass and worlds of almost nothing at all, and it hangs them all in the dark and lets them turn. Let the great soft cotton candy worlds drift and swell far away. We go on to worlds that circle the dead. Here is perhaps the strangest and most haunting discovery of all. Some planets orbit stars that have already died. The very first planets ever found beyond our solar system. The very first before we found any world around a normal star like the Sun, were not orbiting a living star at all. They were circling a pulsar, the spinning, dead remnant of a star that had already exploded as a supernova long ago. Around that tiny, dense, whirling corpse of a star, against all expectation, there were planets tracing their slow orbits in the dark. No one knows for certain how they came to be there. Perhaps they formed from the debris of the explosion that killed the star, worlds born, strangely, from a stellar death gathered out of the wreckage. Perhaps they somehow survived the supernova that should have destroyed them. Either way, they are there, worlds circling a dead star, bathed not in warm sunlight, but in the sweeping beams of deadly radiation that the spinning pulsar casts around like a lighthouse. Dark, cold, irradiated worlds, orbiting a ticking stellar ghost in the deepest silence of space. And there are planets around white dwarfs too, around the small, cooling embers that sun-like stars leave behind when they die. Some of these worlds may have survived their star's long death. Others may be the shattered remnants of worlds torn apart, their dust and debris slowly raining down onto the dead star's surface. Whole planetary systems, outliving the stars that made them, circling on in the dark around a fading white ember. And there's a strange, quiet loyalty in it when you think about it gently. A world does not abandon its orbit when its star dies. It does not fly off into the dark. It keeps circling faithfully in the same slow path it has always traced around the small dark ember or the spinning corpse that was once its blazing sun, as though it were keeping a promise, as though it were staying out of some gravitational tenderness beside the thing that made it, long after that thing has grown cold and dark and silent. Round and round, in the deep quiet for billions of years, a world circling the memory of a star. There is something strangely comforting even here at the graveyards of the stars. Even after a star has died, even after the supernova, even after the light has gone out, worlds may remain, still turning, still keeping their faithful orbits, still tracing the same patient circles they have traced for billions of years. The death of a star is not always the end of its worlds. Something remains. Something goes on turning in the dark, quietly, long after the light has failed. Let the worlds of the dead stars keep their long, silent orbits. We turn now toward home, but first toward the nearest strange world of all. Of all the thousands of worlds we have found around other stars, there's one that matters more to us than all the rest, simply because it is the closest. It circles Proxima Centauri, the nearest star to our own sun, just over 4 light years away, the very next star over in all the vastness of the galaxy. Its name is Proxima b. It is a rocky world a little larger than the Earth, and it orbits its small red star in the habitable zone, the general band where liquid water could, in principle, exist. It is, in every way that matters, the nearest possibly Earth-like world we know of anywhere. If there is a second home for life within reach of us, even in imagination, it is most likely this one. And yet, even this nearest of worlds is unimaginably far. For light years, if you could travel at the speed of our fastest spacecraft, it would take not years, but tens of thousands of years to reach it. It is close by the standards of the galaxy, the very next house on the cosmic street, and still so far that no human being will likely ever stand upon it. We can see it and study it and dream of it. We cannot go, but dreaming is enough tonight. Picture it, a red world, or perhaps a blue one, circling a small, calm, ember-red star for light years away in the direction of the southern sky. Perhaps it is barren rock. Perhaps, beneath a red sky, there are shallow seas and something stirring in them. We do not know, and there is a gentleness in not knowing, in leaving that nearest world its mystery, its quiet, its distance. It is out there right now, turning under its red sun, whether or not anyone will ever visit. The nearest of all the strange worlds, and still a world apart, dreaming its own long dream in the dark. Let Proxima be turned quietly under its red star for light years away. And now at last, let us come home. Let us come back now, across all those light years, to the one world we know best of all, our own. We have visited such strange places tonight. A world of molten rock and buried diamond, racing around its star in a single night. A blue giant where glass blows sideways on winds 7 times the speed of sound. Worlds with no star at all, drifting alone through the endless dark. Worlds of eternal day and eternal night, wrapped in a ring of unmoving twilight. Giants that hug their stars, and families of 7 Earths, and worlds as light as cotton, and worlds that circle the dead. A whole galaxy full of planets, stranger and more various than anyone ever dreamed. And after all of them, here is the strangest and most wonderful world of all. This one, the Earth. Because of all the thousands of worlds we have found in all their endless variety, we have not yet found another like this. A world neither too hot nor too cold, with oceans of liquid water lapping at continents, with a sky full of breathable air, with a great steadying moon, with gentle seasons and soft rain and warm afternoons, a world where the temperature is almost everywhere, almost always, just right for a body to rest in comfort. A world so perfectly, quietly suited to life that we walk across it every day without ever noticing the miracle of it. You are lying, right now, on the surface of the rarest kind of world we know. Not a world of glass or diamond or fire, but a world of exactly the right gentleness. Warm enough, cool enough, calm enough, safe enough that you can lie down in the dark and simply sleep in no danger, needing nothing, held by the soft, ordinary air and the patient ground beneath you. All those strange and violent and beautiful worlds are out there right now, turning in the dark, keeping their fire and their glass and their eternal twilight entirely to themselves. And you are here on the gentle one, the calm one, the one that is just right. And perhaps that is the deepest gift of visiting all these strange worlds. Not the wonder of them, though they are wonderful, but the way they send you home again, seeing your own world new. We so easily forget how extraordinary the ordinary is. The gentle air that asks nothing of you to breathe. The water that runs clear and cool and drinkable. The ground that stays solid beneath you, neither molten nor frozen. The star overhead that is neither too near nor too far, that rises each morning and sets each evening in a slow, kind rhythm that has cradled every life that has ever lived. We call it ordinary, but there is nothing ordinary about it. It is the rarest and most precious arrangement we have ever found anywhere in all the thousands of worlds, and you were born onto it, and you get to rest on it tonight. So let go now, and rest on the rarest and kindest world in all the galaxy. The strange planets will keep turning, far away, needing nothing from you. And you can simply be here, safe and warm, on the good world, the quiet world, the one that was somehow, impossibly, exactly right for you. Close your eyes now, if they're not already closed. Breathe in slowly and out even more slowly. The galaxy is full of strange and distant worlds, and every one of them is calm tonight, and none of them can reach you. And you are home on the gentlest world of all. The cosmos is slumbering, and so are you. Good night, traveler. Sleep well on the world that was just right.